This is a demonstration of the Audit feature in the Reticle storage system using the latest software. I'm going to click on Audit here and enter, and it gives me three columns. The first column is a slot column, the second one is what's in the database, and the third column is empty. And the idea is that I'm going to barcode the actual box, and it's going to be compared with the database for that specific slot, and it's going to let me know if the two match or not. The very first slot is the default, is actually the very first slot of the system, rack A. It's in column 1, it's slot 1, but I'm not really interested in that. I want to go to rack F where I suspect there are some problems. So I'm going to go ahead and barcode the very first slot in rack F right now. And notice it brings me into that location. So now I'm going to barcode the box that's in slot 1. And sure enough, the actual box ID doesn't match what the database thinks should be in there. So we have a breach. At this point, we have two options. The first one is that we can go ahead and overwrite the database. The second one is that we can go ahead and pull that box out and declare that slot as empty. Now this is a password protected mode, and since I'm an R&M person, I have that authorization. I can go forward with this. So what I want to do is I want to take the actual box value and put it into the database. So I'm going to go ahead and overwrite, and notice that the actual box and the database now match. So now I want to go over to the next slot and see what's going on there. And that slot happens to be empty, and the database says it's empty as well. So what I'm going to do is confirm to the database that it actually is empty. Since there's no box in there, there's no barcode that I can swipe. So what I do is just come over to this button down here and click on empty, and that verifies that the database is in fact correct. I'm going to move on to slot number 3, and slot number 3 believes that the database believes that this particular box is in slot number 3, and I'm going to go ahead and barcode, and sure enough that box is in fact there. At this point I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slot location. And I want to point out that each time I had overwritten in the past, I went ahead and I pressed this specific button here. But there's an auto overwrite feature, and I'd like to demonstrate that now. And the way this works is that any thing I barcode in the actual is going to be compared with the database. And if it's different, the actual is going to be inserted into the database automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and barcode a box right now, and notice that it is in fact different. It's highlighted in red, and it was in fact written into the database automatically. And that's how that feature works. I'm going to go ahead and move over to slot number 5, and I want to demonstrate the auto increments feature. And really what this does is it auto increments. I don't have to go each time and hit our step function here or hit enter or return. Notice that the screen changed a little bit, and there's a stack pointer now, and the stack pointer is pointing to the row of interest, which is really where everything is happening, and then just prior to the row of interest, whatever sequentially happened before it is what's going to be displayed here. Now I'm going to go ahead and barcode a box, and you'll see that 5 will scroll up to 4 and 6 will present itself automatically. And that's exactly what happened. We have a match, we're fine. So we can move pretty quickly here. Boom. Oh, we're overwriting, right? Automatically, because we're in this feature here. Again. And this is how this works. You can go very quickly, and probably maybe 1 per second, and get done with a rack very, very quickly in this mode. Now once you're through with your audit session, you can go ahead and click here on reports. Enter. That gives you a nice report of what went on in the previous session. And in the previous session, we've audited these slots 1 through 8. This is what is currently in the database now that we've done our audit and made changes. And over here are the overwritten data points shown in red, and where there was a check mark, the actual box matched the database, so nothing had to be done. And all of this is downloadable to Excel, just clicking here. And that's everything you need to know about the audit function.